Civil War was fought in 10,000 places. From Gettysburg to Vicksburg, Charlton, Fort Wagner. But not in Portsmouth, where tonight we're going to entertain you and have a great night with me, Josh Brisson, and
Bobby Hill.
Chris, and a special guest
is
Erik.
If you want to leave us suggestions and questions for future whatever, Google voice us at 757-656-9625 or email us at T3I podcast@outlook.com or follow us on Twitter at, with the A symbol, T3I podcast. And tonight we have 4 main categories we're going to go through. As you've been following us throughout the whole time, probably not really. Number 1, oppression in the gay community. Number 2, is the use of violence able to bring about change? Number 3, does feminism portray man-hating? Is strong women sexy? Why? Number 4, do we love our cars? We're going to start this out right now with our main guy named Bobby Hill.
A couple of days ago, my boss said some really just off the wall thoughts. Now, granted, this is his opinion, and I'm not going to say that his opinion is wrong because that's how he thinks. So he feels that straight people should be offended about all this big thing about gay pride and gay marriage and whatnot because he feels that it's that the whole gay thing is being shoved down his throat.
I've heard stories about the shop before, and they really get excited at the mention of anything gay.
Yes,
You say gay, it like ripples through the whole place, and they all come out like, "Where's the gay?"
All right, so here, what Erik is referring to is one day, me and my coworker were just joking around, and we started playing with each other.
You're not supposed to laugh at that. You're not supposed to.
No.
So you guys are hot and sweaty in the mechanic's garage, and you start playing with each other.
Well, I take my shirt off. He takes his off.
He says his tool.
No, we
start rubbing each other's nips.
He was joking. He was like, I forgot what I said, but he made some. What are you, some sort of faggot? I was like, maybe.
Oh.
He was like, and then out of nowhere, this person comes out of the front room. This person who knows my boss and my coworker goes, Who said there's a faggot out here? And
it was like a call of the wild. They all heard it.
The door was shut. The door was shut. The only way you could have heard this is if I was yelling, and I wasn't that loud. But she comes out and searching. I'm sitting there shocked that she heard that. Out of everything we were talking about, she heard who said they were gay.
Then she looked at you and was like, I could see that.
They have this weird obsession with hating. I don't want to say hating, but they really want gay people to stay away from them. Like, they have this weird thought that the gay person is actually going to find them attractive. I think they're actually afraid of being told that they're ugly.
Yeah.
That they have a fear of rejection.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's that they have this strange idea that you can catch the gay. Like
it's a disease.
Yeah.
Like their son or daughter becomes the gay disease, like Ebola. All of a sudden,
wait, we're not talking about Ebola.
Get away. That's the gay Ebola.
I agree with that. I don't like the idea of people thinking that's something that can be cured.
Oh, and they do that though. There's these Pray the Gay Way
Pray the Gay
programs
way.
that.
No, it's just the idea that you think you can change a person.
Do you think that that the whole gay thing is being shoved down your throat?
No, man. I
really don't.
Personally, I'm enthused that gays are.
Virginia just said gays can marry. I'm all for it. I don't care if they get married because I believe anybody has the right to be miserable. Okay.
Thank you. I said the exact same thing.
Great.
Says 2 people who aren't married.
3. who are married.
If you agree with that statement, then we should go get married for the tax benefits right now.
You were in the military.
Yeah.
How many times did you see a couple get married, like in tech school or whatever the army calls
Don't you
it?
hate the way a gay guy takes a bullet?
A handful of
It's
times.
so annoying.
In the mouth.
He can't even die straight.
I will tell you a story. I was at reception. Reception is pre-basic training. It's to acclimate you to the army atmosphere. They're not really that hard on you, but there's still the line on the floor. You have to make your bunk or whatever. So, but anyway, I go into the fucking the latrines one night, and I walk in and I go over. And I'm about to piss in the sink, and I look over to where the urinals are, and this dude is getting up off the floor, and the other dude is zipping his pants up, and I just stood there like looking at both of them like.
They can't see the face you're making.
Yeah, you know what? It wasn't like, how dare you? It was more like, really?
Are you really sucking his dick in the bathroom right now?
Here? Like,
can you please have some courtesy?
you're in front of a mirror and 6 urinals. Like, do you want to get caught?
He liked the movie American Psycho, especially when he's fucking the hooker and he looks into the mirror and he starts flexing.
There you go.
It's like, yeah.
The topic is oppression in the gay community, and I think really what the issue is that it's overly sexual. It focuses too much on the sexual nature of the relationship.
That idea is not coming from the gay community. It's coming from the Republican view of the gay community. They're the ones that are sexualizing
Since
it.
the subject is oppression of the gays, I've watched Saturday Night Live like all through 2010 was all about some guys kissing and
Wait, you still watch Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, I watch Saturday Night Live. There's nothing wrong with Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with it. Wow, Adam Sandler and
but anyway,
those guys were
I think
I
think that's a huge insult to gay people is when straight people try to make it a joke.
Yeah, well,
I think that's pretty bad.
You have to look at it the other way too. Is that it's also inclusive. It's including that side of culture and those people in that community. Just because, everything is making fun of in comedy. Everything. The worst, darkest things in the world are funny in comedy.
I know, right?
Comedy works.
All's fair in love and war,
So-
and fucking comedy.
Yeah,
Nobody is spared. Nothing is spared. No quarter is given.
And that's fine. Comedy should be like
True.
that. But
It all depends on the spirit of how it's funny. There's nothing wrong if you imitate, air quote, make a gay voice and say something. What's wrong with that? People talk like that. It's just like if you were to try to talk like if you were from New York and you've never been to New York. You know what I mean? Or if you wanted to be Chinese all of a sudden and be like, oh no,
that's
no.
fucking racist.
Yeah, like doing an accent of any kind. It's along the same lines, but it's too much focus on the sexual nature of people versus the actual overall lifestyle they live is not any different than any other person.
Well,
they can still raise children. They can still have a healthy household. It really doesn't matter in the long run. It's just people are too focused on, I don't like where they put penises or where they want penises to go. It was like, why the fuck do you care?
Or whose
You're
mouth
not going to be there. Yeah.
or whose mouth the vagina's on.
That's the only difference. Otherwise, it's just like you're friends and you have a legal contract that says that you're going to live together and you're going to work together and you'll solve the same debt.
I think
That's
what's
all it really
interesting
comes
about
down
what
to.
you're saying is the sexualization of the gay community. And it's not even, like I said, it's not even coming from them. It's coming from generally the right, the conservative. But here's the thing, though. What's funny about that is in this country, the states with the highest religiosity, that means the states who have the most people that go to church and self-identify as Bible believing,
We're in
whatever.
the Bible Belt. So
Those and they also they try to downplay sex and say it's a sin and all this. But what I find funny
sex
about
out of wedlock, not just sex. Sex out of wedlock.
well, even sex in general, sex is supposed to be for reproduction, not for pleasure.
Not a lot of them preach that. It's mainly just sex out of wedlock. That's the main. That's
sure.
the main one.
But my point is though that those states where sexual oppression is the worst in the country, those are the states that have the highest fucking viewing of porn.
Well, they actually do say
like
sodomy
some
is
pornography.
They do say sodomy is a sin, whether it's men or women.
But yeah, what I find, another thing that I find funny is that, the Republicans feel like, oh, gay marriage would defy the sanctity of marriage or ruin the sanctity of marriage. But, if you look at the divorce rates, straight people do a fucking fine job of that themselves, ruining the sanctity of marriage. But they don't ever bring that part up. And you know where the highest divorce rate is in the country? It's in the religious community.
Oh, yeah, right.
So they're the ones destroying the sanctity of marriage, not the gays. Generally, homosexual couples stay together, especially when they can get married, because they haven't been able to do it. But obviously, I have no data to back that up. That's just an assumption.
I also believe that if you really love somebody, it doesn't matter if you have the title of marriage or not. If you are committed to somebody in any kind of matrimony, you don't need a ring, you don't need legal papers, you don't need a tax bracket to represent that. And if you can't live without that shit, you're just in it for the money.
When that person, if something happens to that person, there's legalities in that.
But that just comes down to the person that tells you that you can't see them.
Hey, Sarah, you should come over here and say that.
To that.
You should come over here and say that.
All that involves is the person that's involved in your health care listing you as a significant other or a family member and acknowledging the fact that you have, you can have that and still be not recognized in a tax bracket in the United States that you're married with dependents. And really, I think the flood of people that are married with dependents because of this is going to overwhelm the tax system.
Well, I mean, I can appreciate the libertarian view of marriage because that's been some of my argument about the anti-gay marriage thing for a while now. It's like if you really want to oppose gay marriage, the best thing that you can do is get the government out of marriage, period. I mean, that's not going to happen, and I don't want it to happen, but that's what they should be focusing on. If you say that your marriage is
Legal.
is not legal, but
True.
Not true. If you say that your marriage is somehow brought down from on high, that this is a contract between me, God, and my wife, then the government
Who cares?
the government shouldn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah. So why are you looking for the government's acceptance?
Well, the reason why
because the way things are run now, it's the only way they can actually get a legal marriage.
Well, like Sarah was saying, though, if something happens medically and you're not married to that person, then there's all kind of fucked up things that happen as a result of that. And so if the government did away with tax breaks and stuff like the medical thing, it wouldn't even be an issue. However, you get tax breaks for being married. When you're legally married, you get the reason why gay people are striving for marriage or for federally recognized marriage is because of the benefits that go along with it, the lawful benefits that go along with it. If those benefits weren't there, it wouldn't even be an issue. So my argument has always been, if you want to fight gay marriage, fight to keep the government out of marriage, period. Because it's not the government's business who's married and who's not.
Well, I mean, the topic has the word oppression in it.
Well, you're right, it does.
Who's being oppressed?
The gay community is being oppressed. You're making it look like that's not the case, so let's hear it.
It just sounds like somebody trying to be the cool kid, and they're just battling for acceptance.
They are. They are battling for acceptance.
Why do you need that acknowledgement, though?
Because of the legalities involved in it. That's what I'm trying to say.
It sounds like a fucking fashion trend.
If the government, didn't have any say in marriage, or if there were no governmental benefits to being married, then we wouldn't even be talking about this because it wouldn't matter. But the fact is, there are federal benefits to being married, and obviously the medical thing too.
Other than those benefits and the acknowledgement that you're homosexual, what is really important about this whole discussion? And the fact that Congress and the government has to be involved and make a ruling on it.
If you take away
it's a non-issue.
All right, so not to awkwardly segue into the next topic, I'm going to awkwardly segue into the next topic. The use of violence to bring about change. I actually gave away my choice of a topic so Bobby could talk about this. So I'm going to turn it back over to him.
All right. Another thing my boss made a deal about was he was like, yes, violence is the only way to make a real change in things, which is kind of true because that's how it's been throughout history. That's
how we started.
It's he who has the biggest stick has the most power. And
is that a euphemism for dick?
Yeah, it might as well be. Yeah, look at missiles; they're in the shape of penises. Missiles are very phallic. It's
and minarets, and obelisks.
Yeah,
sun rays.
Men are
rays.
Yeah, men are very. They have this fascination with penis about who has the biggest one, and I have no idea why, but it's true.
They do.
But anyway, the whole thing about violence is the only way to make a change in whatever about land, power, government. I don't think it's necessary. I think what is necessary is people actually, and I don't mean just a couple people here, a couple people there. I mean everybody being involved in their government in the way they want to live. But then if you know that is what you need, have people go in essentially under false pretenses and change and actually flood the government with people going into office and whatever about making a legit change, and just instead of using guns, instead of saying, all right, we have to kill these people to make a change, which I think it was very bad that it was written in our Constitution that we have a right to overthrow our tyrannical government.
We should.
Actually, I think it was very well written because it didn't actually specify on how to. Everybody has assumed.
Come on, though. The way you topple a government is not by fucking asking them please.
You're not asking please. You're forcibly entering into the system.
And do you know how we do that? With a motherfucking gun.
No, you do that with people inside the system.
I'm not saying that every little infraction the government makes should be met with fucking deadly force, but the Revolutionary War is an excellent example of that.
Yeah, we got you.
But I get what you're saying. I mean, it would be nice if to get what you want, to get the change that the country needs, if you could just go say, hey, Mr. President, could you change this shit for us? But oftentimes it's not like that.
Well, the whole thing of violence begets violence. If you do something through violence, there's going to be a violent response to it.
Sure. And that that's been my only contention with people who think that in modern times, because I mean, sure, every citizen in the U.S. can be armed, but they do not have the same type of firepower that the military does. So what good would it do us to violently uprise as long as the president has control of the military?
We go into the system. We enter this.
Because there's 2 million military personnel and 300 million Americans.
Yeah. But why not? Why fight the system when you can
work with it?
Go into the system and change it from inside. When you don't need it's a little bit.
Let's say the military had to fight Americans.
Do you think they would do it?
They'd probably be very good, but not.
I don't think. Honestly, I don't think the military.
They would have to fight people who lived in their land for.
Josh is part of a rebellion. You get called up to do whatever. All of a sudden, you're now. Let's say you get.
You probably cross guns, looking at each other, and just walking away.
Would you be able to shoot Josh?
It depends on the situation.
The situation is they're rolling up. And
well, why? Why is this happening?
Because you're being ordered to defend this position.
No. Why are they uprising? What has happened in the country to cause them to do that?
Let's use a logical reason, a reason that you might agree with. I don't know what you might agree with. I'm just saying think of something off the top of your head.
Well, this happened a lot in the Civil War too.
The whole tagline of that fucking war was, this is the war that pitted brother against brother, father against son.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were fucking killing each other. And for me to shoot Josh, me being a part of the military, and I shoot Josh, he would have to be a part of some shit that I would totally disagree with.
He joins ISIS.
He joins ISIS, I'm gonna fucking cap his ass. I mean, I'm just saying. If I was ordered, yo, Saunders, you need to fucking take out this terrorist cell, and my brother is in the terrorist cell, my brother is gonna die.
Is that
Stop working on that jet. Hit with the fucking wrench.
Is that his Adidas jacket?
That's him. That's that motherfucker right there.
But no, like, if I was in the military and I agreed with the uprising, I wouldn't necessarily, like, defect from the country. But, yeah, in that situation, if I agreed with what they were doing, but I still wanted to keep my job in the military, yeah, I'm shooting over his head.
I tell you, shoot Chris. Just saying, right there. What's up, nigga? Yeah, I downloaded Frank Zappa and I can't put it on your iPod. Oh, just like that.
Speaking of that,
What
it's a
a
good person
dick.
to download. I haven't thought about it.
I heal his wounds.
So you would shoot me, but then nurse me back to health?
Yeah, I mean that. Like Frank Zappa, he put him on my fucking iPod. Okay. I'm like, oh man.
Alright, but we got off subject.
The A-10s are fucking us up.
But, I mean, I disagree with you on this because sometimes the threat of violence from the people is necessary. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that Obama has done such a fucking terrible job that we need to go kill his ass.
Nobody said that.
No, well, some fucking right-wing, extreme right-wing assholes do. Like,
But nobody's done it yet.
Ted Nugent.
Nobody has made it an idiot attempt.
Like Uncle fucking Ted advocates let's assassinate the president. Obama's not the greatest president in the world, but he's not worth like.
Yeah, he's not.
He's
fucking
not
Caligula or nothing. You know. Jesus.
Yeah,
He's no Bill Clinton.
He's not fucking Nero.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not like Nero, where I burned down half of Rome.
No president has ever destroyed this nation, obviously, because we're still here as a nation. So we hear it all the time. This president is going to destroy this nation. It never happens. It's all politics.
Oh no! If anybody was gonna destroy this nation, it'd have been fucking George Bush Jr.
Yeah, didn't happen.
It's probably close to
fantastically. It didn't happen.
If he magically got a third term, I think he would have done it.
No, Abe Lincoln was the closest to destroying a nation.
Trivia time, real quick. Who's the only president in the U.S. to have 3 terms?
It's like Roosevelt or Woodrow Wilson.
FDR.
Which one?
Wheelchair.
Franklin Joseph Roosevelt. He had 4 terms. He died within like 2 months of his 4th.
Yeah.
Was it FDR or was it Teddy?
It was FDR.
Was it?
Yeah, definitely wasn't Teddy. Yeah.
Teddy had 2 terms.
Oh, that's right.
You know, Teddy Roosevelt went to bars and actually fought people.
Dude,
As
Teddy
president.
Roosevelt was a badass.
You remember Andrew Jackson, motherfucking Old Hickory?
He was a badass.
He'd be doing
had
He had
a badass dude.
He had a party in the White House. Andrew Jackson had a party in the White House when he got elected.
Wouldn't you?
Everyone does.
Yeah.
If I got elected to the White House, yo.
They had to move everything
having
outside because people were starting to destroy shit.
Kickstand. The president's out here doing kickstands, ladies and gentlemen.
He's an ace at it.
But oh yeah, the president's being wheeled away because his wife just knocked him the fuck out.
That's a good president. I like that wife. She can get shit done.
Yeah.
It's like the cops Secret Service had to get called to the room again because they were beating the shit out of each other. Like, and she was taking, fuck you. She was giving it back. There was a big fight. We actually waited a second. We were like, hold up.
Hold up, yo, you got bets on this?
I got money on the president.
I got money on the first
The
lady.
president looks over like,
What?
What?
Oh, then he gets punched in the face. But no, I think you bring up a good point, and you know, before we start recording, me and Eric were conversing about this a little bit, you know, I brought up V for Vendetta. That's like one of my favorite movies / comic books right now. I just actually bought the omnibus for V for Vendetta, the comic. It's sitting over there on my shelf, but he advocated. He did advocate for anarchy, to be sure. He did. However, he didn't advocate that anarchy be used like anarchy, like the state would be in a constant state of anarchy. That's not what he was saying. He advocated using anarchy to reset the government, to put them back in their place, and kind of restart governmental things. And I think that's something I can get behind. Do we need it now? I don't think so. Even though Obama's black, I don't think he deserves to die or anything.
There was so much hype behind him.
Oh,
It's crazy.
well, yeah, you're right. But you know what? When the Republican Party comes out and says, "I'll block everything this dude does just cause,"
Yeah.
Yeah, he
What-
kinda
I
gets
mean-
screwed. He gets left with no option. It's
that
just
that
kinda
was
like-
Obama's first term.
Yeah, he didn't get a chance. Everybody was like, "Nope, you're black. Fuck you." Get
Oh, I
outta
know.
here."
And honestly, I went from being a Republican to a Democrat, or not necessarily a Democrat, but a conservative Republican to being a liberal within his first term. Like I made that change, and like at first I didn't see the racial thing being an issue, because I remember Janine Garofalo. She was like one of the first people I heard say, "Oh, this is a race thing." I was just eventually though. I had to come to the realization, like, Obama is not that bad. I don't understand where all the fucking hate is coming from. And so it really made me question whether race was the fucking issue that, Republicans had such a problem with. And, I mean, is it? I don't know, but it sure does seem like it,
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's definitely racially stirred, racially fueled.
What
That's what I'm
nation
saying.
isn't racially fueled? Fuck. Switching it up a little bit, You guys probably a little bored. Kind of fun. Anyways, does feminism portray man-hating? Yes. Is strong women sexy? And why? That's a big question nowadays. Bob, what's your point on this?
I would hook up with Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton. She's a very strong woman, but she's very old, and you're 25. So
Doesn't
come on.
matter.
Come
It's
on.
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
I would do it just to hang out with Bill. I'd be like, yeah, I hooked up with
I like stronger women because, you know what? They have a little bit curiosity to knowing what they want. But
it's not a curiosity at that point. It's knowing exactly what they
they
want.
do. They still have curiosity. So what happens if I just let it go? Now, that's an ambiguous kind of answer right there.
No, I don't think they ever get to that point because I think they just get attracted to it so much that they just stick with it.
So they're submissive.
No, I mean, some if they
Or
feel
are we all submissive? Is men submissive?
men are definitely submissive. They become over. I don't know. I don't know even how to say it.
Just saying.
They get control. They almost get controlled in a way.
Yeah.
And it's even made as. It's even joked around on TV, and they say it's like, oh yeah, well we're women, we fucking.
Well, I have to say here that I am a feminist myself.
Me too.
I believe women should have the same rights as men, but I hate. What I hate is when a woman says, "I'm going to be a man," and then if that woman starts to become, I hate to say abusive, but starts to shove around.
But that's what men do.
But when the guy pushes back, they cry woman. They go, "Oh, you can't do this. I'm a woman. I'm going to call the cops." Well, just a second ago, you were saying how you were going to do this, how you were going to do that, and now you're going to start pushing me and assaulting me, and then I just give you a little shove back, and you start crying.
Which is weird because that's anti-feminism. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When a woman starts using her body and who she is,
Yeah.
it's anti-feminism.
But just a second ago, she was screaming how she's going to do this, how she's going to start doing whatever, and then starts and goes beyond.
That's politics right there. You just have to. I don't know. Just say-
Well, I mean, no, I mean, luckily we have a few politicians who are not don't fit that mold that you're talking about. I don't remember her name, but she's a runner-up, and I think it's Texas. What's her name? She's actually making some pretty good big waves in Texas right now, and she's getting attacked, but she's not, she's not crying, "Oh, I'm a fucking woman, so you need to, back off." No, she's taking it in stride and doing her fucking thing, and she's a Democrat, and I hope she gets elected out there in Texas.
Yeah.
She seems to be running on a solid platform.
Well, we talk about women in power. How do you feel about women
Not just power, but feminism.
Well, I mean,
I know, but
Bobby's got a good point. Let him finish.
He's got a very good point.
Let him finish.
But when you say women in power, how about the way they got into power and what they used to get to that way?
Oh, so you're talking about the woman who fucks her way up the ladder?
Yeah. What do you think about that person who has that
how
power?
How much percentage is that?
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I don't
yeah.
know. I don't have a number. I'm just saying.
I'm saying you're directing too much on that. What about? Have you ever met strong women who've been really cool with you? Because I have.
I haven't really.
I mean, they're strong-minded. They know what they want and stuff, but they're not like using men. In fact, they they look down on other women being slutty and shit, but they don't look up to men.
Yeah, I mean, a true feminist wouldn't be fucking everybody to get to her to what she wants. She would be.
A true feminist would understand that she's strong and whatnot.
Well, no, I mean,
but is a strong woman sexy? Because I kind of think so. I don't want no weak bitch.
Hey, my woman's a strong woman.
She's definitely strong.
I'm like the only person in her whole fucking life she says no to all the time.
I know. I know. She doesn't say no to me. I guess.
Wait, what?
That's why I hear all that. Wait, what?
What have you been asking her? But yeah, I'm a feminist. Equal women should have equal pay for the job they do. They should have equal standing within the community. And, we're finally starting to move away from this patriarchal fucking, view of how society should work, which is a good thing. So for this last segment, we're going to be outside, which is probably why you hear cars going back and forth and shit. So I'm going to turn.
It actually surprisingly has something to do with our last subject.
Yeah, actually it does. So I could say that we meant to do it this way, and we'll just leave it at that. So here's Erik to explain our last segment of the night.
What's your favorite car?
Well, since I don't give a shit about cars, I'm just going to throw one out there, the DeLorean, because it has a flux capacitor in it.
I'm going to say Murcielago because it's Italian for bat. That's it.
Well, when you say car, you really have to think back about what a car really is. My favorite car would have to be the horse and buggy.
Horse and buggy.
One horsepower.
The hairless carriage, right?
What's your definition of a car?
5 wheels, 6 wheels?
A car will soon not have wheels at all.
Oh yeah, maglev.
So then what are you going to call it? You still going to call it a car?
I'm going to call it a fucking time machine. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Hurry up, Marty. We got to save your daughter.
She's marrying a black man. Oh, I think that's okay, huh? I think we have a problem. And she was great. She's marrying a black man.
But my favorite car would have to be.
And that is our podcast
All
tonight
right.
on October 18th. Tonight, yeah, ends it. I hope you had a good night. Enjoy it. Listen.
Hey, wait a second.
Express your
Erik
ideas.
didn't say what his favorite car was.
2-door.
A two-door or what?
Car.
Right on. Josh, fucking take us out.
Good night, you all. I hope you enjoyed every second of this podcast right now. Keep us There's Twitter. There's emails. There's the telephone. Keep it up. We told you in the beginning. Listen, observe, go on. Peace.